Hey everyone, Blizzard KB here, and this is a Rubik's Maze. Now this is a puzzle that's more like a game than a twisty puzzle. The object of this is to get all these thick black lines that you see going around the puzzle in one continuous loop. So instead of this piece ending at a dead end over here, this piece should continue into a continuous path. Now the way this puzzle moves is it's really a set of six different pieces, and they have these lines in here where the different pieces can rotate based off of those lines. So if I wanted to move this piece up here, what I would do is just pull it upwards and then along that line right there that you saw on the piece beneath it. So I was able to rotate this piece along this pathway that you see here. It's kind of like a groove. And this piece can move along that groove. So I can also now move this piece down this way as well. And then move it back up. And then move it in. This allows just about every piece to touch every other piece. And so you can see the kind of possibilities that you have. So it's not really a setup that's based on just the regular twisty puzzle ideas. This is something a little bit different and unusual. But again, the object of it is to make one path of this black line so that it is one continuous loop. Now this is not the only puzzle of its kind. There's a couple of other puzzles that are a bit like that. I'm going to move this to the back so I can show you these. This puzzle and this puzzle, this puzzle with the arrows on it is called Inka Type A. The puzzle itself is called Inka, and this is the Type A of Inka. And then this one without any arrows is called Inka Type B. And also there is a chewing gum, Inca Chewing Gum puzzle, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Inka Type A, the object is, instead of having these black lines that's supposed to make one continuous loop, you're supposed to treat each of these black gaps with the arrows on them, well, not always with the arrows on them, but these black gaps, not these blue lines and not these white squares or these red lines. It's not that. It's the lines in between here, over here and over here and over here and so on. They're supposed to make one continuous loop around this puzzle, and the arrows have to point in the same direction. So you can't have one piece over here with the arrow pointing to the right and then have another piece over here with the arrow pointing to the left. That's not going to be a solution of the puzzle. You have to arrange all 8 of these pieces, and it moves the same way as the Rubik's Maze. You just move these pieces along the lines that are shown here. Like for example, you see this line that goes across these 2 pieces? Well, I can pull this up and then around along that line, and then even further along that line there. So I'm going to move it back, rotate it, and then bring it back around. But that's the object of this puzzle. There's a link that I'll put in the video description that describes more. For some reason, this path is called the Red Indian Path. And to fix the Red Indian Path of the Inka Type A, then you're supposed to make a line connecting all of these gaps with the arrows pointing in the same direction so it goes around all 8 pieces in a continuous loop. That's Type A. Type B, there is no such restriction on this puzzle, so it's slightly easier. Has the same kind of movement, but the object is just to take those same gaps and make one continuous loop of all those gaps. So you don't have to worry about the arrows. Again, this is a little bit easier. And also, since there are no arrows, you can also start to make your own solutions to this puzzle. So that's why I call it more of a game than just a regular twisty puzzle, because normally with twisty puzzles you have a definitive solution, and this one doesn't really have a definitive solution. It just has different patterns that you might want to make. That would be the general pattern to make one continuous loop of all of these gaps. Another might be to get all the red pieces together. There aren't enough pieces to make just one blue line, but maybe you could try and put some of these blue pieces all together the way they are now, or the yellow pieces, put them together somehow. It's up to you. More of a game. Over here, the Inca Chewing Gum puzzle. This is just two blocks together, and it moves the same way. I can move this block along this line. As you can see, I'm following that line, and you see this line here. I can make it follow here, and so on and so forth. And the job is to make words going vertically. So if you can form a word going down this way, then you have made a solution to the puzzle. So you just have to keep moving it around until you can get these words in a shape that you can actually come up with some solutions. I'm going to show all the words on this puzzle. Here, here, here. Oh, whoops, I'm covering one of the letters. Down here, here's some letters. Over here, here's some more letters. And then in the middle, whoops, here's the words on this side of the puzzle. And here are these words as well. It's a little mind-bending to just look at in a video and not hold it in your hand, but the object is pretty simple. And I think I formed a word. I'm going to count that as a word. I formed the word data, sort of. D-A-T-A. So I guess I win. In any case, I am Blizzard KB, and this is the Rubik's Maze, Inka Type A, Inka Type B, and Inca Chewing Gum puzzles.